All right, let's talk Cincinnati Bengals. Got a great news weekend. Of course, a lot of energy going on in training camp, but it looks like the Bengals have outsmarted pretty much their entire competition with this move. Exciting stuff. I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, so for anyone following the Bengals, of course, there's a lot of energy behind this team at training camp, a lot of momentum. But the news around Cincinnati in the National Football League is a great sign as well. For those of you who aren't familiar, two other quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins and Jordan Love for the Green Bay Packers, signed huge extensions. Credit to those guys for getting big term deals. But when you actually dig into the numbers and look at the situations, you can realize something. The Bengals, with the deal they gave to Joe Burrow, clearly was leap years ahead of schedule, and it was the perfect move to make. They outsmarted everybody. Let's pull up a graphic here highlighting exactly what we want to talk about. So here we pulled up the top 5 quarterback contracts. This is courtesy of spottrack.com. Great site, highly recommend it. And one of the things you can notice right off the get-go is that between Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Tua, and Jared Goff, there's clearly one quarterback that's better than all the others, and it's Joe Burrow, right? Nothing against Lawrence, nothing against Love, nothing against Tua, nothing against Jared Goff, right? But anyone who's not a fanboy of one of those 4 teams will understand Joe Burrow is clearly and significantly better than any of those quarterbacks. So you can see here, looking at these numbers, their average per year. Joe Burrow, 55 million, Trevor Lawrence, 55, Jordan Love, 55, Tua right behind at 53.1, Jared Goff right behind at 53. So basically all about $55 million a year. So the Bengals, by giving Burrow the deal when they gave him, essentially got market value, right? Jordan Love, market value, 55 million. Tua, market value, 53. Jared Goff, 53. Trevor Lawrence, 55. The Bengals got market value pricing for someone that is much higher than the market. Joe Burrow, when healthy, is one of the best quarterbacks in football, back-to-back conference championships. Everyone knows it. He's beaten Josh Allen. He's beaten Lamar Jackson. He's beaten Kansas City's Patrick Mahomes. He has done so much in his career. This is a really championship contender. Everyone knows it. And when you break down the numbers, the Bengals were able to pay him essentially market price, right? That's like buying waterfront real estate property for market value with no premium. That is just overall a great sign, smart move by Bengals leadership. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, but first, Bengals fans in the comment section below. Obviously, an exciting time, a lot of energy behind the Cincinnati team, a lot of great matchups, of course, upcoming this NFL season. Give us the one game you're looking forward to more than any other. Is it a rematch? Is it one of these rivalries in the AFC North? Give us the one game you're excited about more than any other and put it in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure you check out the description box below for our affiliate link to our recommended book for you guys to get ready for the upcoming NFL season. It is Playmakers by Mike Florio. It's a great read, highly recommended. We bought it. Check out our link in the description box below. If you use it to go to Amazon to purchase the book, it helps us out. Plus, you get a great book to learn more about the game. But Miles, let me throw it over to you now. What are your thoughts on how everything is shaking out with the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, Nick, I think, like you said, the earliest to the paying of the quarterback party always, I think, reap the best rewards because, like you said, you come in at what essentially, especially this year, because the last 2 or 3 years, there's been so many quarterbacks that come up for big time contract. And like you see, if you come in early like the Bengals did, you play smart, you're not afraid to spend that money, which we've seen out of the Bengals lately, which I think has been really good. They have not been afraid to spend money, which traditionally in the past they have been. They come to market, they pay Joe Burrow for, as you allude to, market value. They get a great deal on him because, like you said, this is probably top 5 quarterback in the NFL, no questions asked, especially when he is healthy. I just think that this was a really great deal for the Bengals because if you look at the team last year, and I know, your quarterback going down week 11 probably doesn't help your season out too much. But besides that, despite that, you look at this Bengals team and what they are able to do. This is the Bengals team who offense finished in top half of the league, 15th in the NFL in offense, despite your quarterback going down in week 11. Defense, there's a little bit to be desired there. The defense kind of, didn't pull its weight when the offense, when your whole offense and Joe Burrow goes down. It's tough for a defense to have to kind of, stay off the field when your offense can't stay on the field. So I think that kind of played into their 26th ranked defense. But I think we come into this season and we see all the upgrades that the Bengals have made all around the ball. You see They didn't have Mike Gesicki last year. They didn't have, a great tackle in Trent Brown last year. They didn't have their safeties last year. There's so many additions to this team that I think Joe Burrow is now set up to come back to a team that is significantly better than he had last year. And now this Bengals team is ready to roll. They got Joe Burrow paid. They're under what he probably should have been paid. They got a great deal on him at the end of the day. I think this Bengals team is doing a lot of really good stuff. And if I'm a Bengals fan, I'd be pretty excited about the future.
And it's also the fact that the way the deals are structured are very valuable to Cincinnati. So, for example, Joe Burrow's deal ends in 2029. Three of the guys I mentioned, Jordan Love, Tua, and Jared Goff, their deals end in 2028, right? So you're dealing with three quarterbacks that signed market price, but they're basically saying, hey, we want to negotiate 1 year before Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence's deal is 1 year beyond in 2030, but that's kind of a weird deal because of the way the Jaguars really just threw money at Trevor Lawrence. So when you look at what the Bengals did here, not only did they get market value, they locked in Joe Burrow for a longer period of time, which allows them to extend this current championship run they're on, right? The three teams I mentioned, the Packers, the Dolphins, and the Detroit Lions, they have a much shorter window, right? Because obviously in 2028, they got to figure out what they're going to do with their quarterback, right? They're going to have to sign him to another big deal, another huge deal. And they're going to have to completely revamp their rosters. Now the Bengals get another year on the other side of it. They get to go, okay, we know we don't have to worry about Joe Burrow until 2029. That means we can plan for how we're going to draft, how we're going to sign the Jamar Chase deal, some of these other young studs, how we're going to pay them and extend them and things like that, right? It gives them another year to their title window. So it's almost like, to use my real estate analogy, it's like locking in a really good interest rate, right? Where everyone else got like a 5% rate on the house, the Bengals were able to get like a 4%, right? 4.5% rate. They're able to lock it in a year ahead of time, which means they're going to be better off financially than those other guys because they're going to be paying a much higher rate for the duration of those deals. That's sort of an analogy to what the Bengals did here with Joe Burrow. And again, I think it's a big part of Katie Blackburn's leadership. I think it's a big part of this new Bengals of making smart business decisions with the salary cap and the football team over the past 2 seasons. And while the talent and the coaching is a big part of the reason why the Bengals are a good team, obviously, I think a big part of it is also their leadership and their decision making at the top. And I think that is why the Bengals' future remains to be really bright.